Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the NFL landscape over the past few weeks, you probably already sense that the AFC North is heating up in ways we haven't seen in quite some time. And if there's one thing Steelers fans know all too well, it's that in this division, shifting power can happen in the blink of an eye, especially when rumors start swirling about blockbuster trades. And right now, the biggest buzz revolves around the possibility of the Indianapolis Colts, a team in transition and clearly in rebuild mode, making some bold moves that could shake the entire conference. And at the center of it all is a name that's been making waves, Sauce Gardner. Yes, Sauce Gardner, the lockdown cornerback who's been making a name for himself with the Jets, is now being rumored to be on the move. And get this, there's speculation that the Colts, who are currently sitting at a 5-9 record and are reportedly strapped for cap space, are exploring the idea of trading Gardner to the Steelers. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is that even possible? Well, according to sources close to the situation, the Colts are in the midst of a quarterback transition, trying to find their future signal caller, and they're looking to clear cap space by dealing away some of their assets. And Gardner, with his rising star power and elite coverage skills, is seen as a perfect piece to help a team like Pittsburgh tighten up their secondary and push towards Super Bowl contention. Let's dig into why this move would make so much sense for the Steelers. First, having a player like Sauce Gardner would be huge. We saw what he did with the Jets. 58 games, 14 tackles for the season so far in 2025, 1 sack, 48 pass deflections, and 3 interceptions. His PFF grade in 2025 is an eye-popping 89.7. This guy is a true shutdown corner, capable of taking away the opponent's best WR. And in Pittsburgh, that's exactly what we need, to bolster our secondary and take the pressure off Minkah Fitzpatrick. Picture a Steelers defense with Gardner and Minkah locking down the passing game, making it nearly impossible for opposing quarterbacks to find open receivers. That kind of secondary would elevate us from a good defense to a legendary one, a real fortress that opponents dread. Now, considering Gardner's stats and reputation, he's not just a solid player, he's an absolute game changer. His career tackles are over 200, with forced fumbles and a reputation for clutch plays, including multiple pass breakups and interceptions. His ability to cover WR1s with ease makes him a nightmare for offenses. In 2025 alone, he's been dominant, especially Week 4 against the Dolphins, where he grabbed 2 pass deflections. And his injury history? Virtually non-existent this season, after missing just 2 games with a shoulder injury in Week 5. That's a testament to his durability and focus. Now let's talk about the Colts' perspective. They're sitting at 5-9 with just $1.8 million in cap space. They're clearly prioritizing their quarterback situation, trying to find the right guy to lead their rebuild. Trading Gardner for draft picks or promising wide receivers would give them flexibility to build around their future QB. It would also allow them to shed some cap and get younger and more flexible for the upcoming seasons. If they decide to move him, it could be a move similar to the Rams, trade for Jalen Ramsey back in 2019, which transformed their secondary and helped them make a Super Bowl run. That's exactly the type of impact Gardner could have on the Steelers. Now, if you're a Steelers fan, you know how important it is to build a defense that can dictate the pace of the game. With Gardner in the fold, along with Minkah Fitzpatrick, the defense instantly becomes one of the most intimidating units in the league. Think about our pass rush, led by TJ Watt with his 12 sacks, complemented by a secondary that can lock down even the most dangerous WRs. This defensive unit would be a nightmare for offenses in the AFC, especially considering the playoff picture. Teams like Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Buffalo would have a hard time moving the ball through the air, knowing they're facing a secondary led by Gardner and Fitzpatrick. And the ripple effects go even further. In the playoffs, having a lockdown CB like Gardner can be the difference between a deep run and an early exit. Remember what Gilmore did for the Patriots in 2019, boosting their secondary and helping them dominate opposing offenses. That's the type of impact we're talking about. Gardner could neutralize elite WR1s like Tyreek Hill or Stephon Diggs, giving our defense an edge in tight games. Plus, with Watt bringing pressure up front, it's a recipe for a defense that's relentless and adaptable. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. The betting odds for the Super Bowl are already reflecting the rising potential of this defense. From +6,0 to +2, 800, imagine what it would be if the Steelers secured a player like Gardner. It would be a huge boost to our chances, especially in the playoffs. His presence would elevate the entire secondary, and with Minka and others in the mix, we'd form a formidable unit that could carry us deep into February. The AFC is stacked, but with this kind of upgrade, the Steelers could position themselves as favorites, or at least serious contenders for a Super Bowl run. Of course, there are questions and uncertainties. The Colts are reportedly cautious about trading away a rising star like Gardner, especially since he's only in his third year and still developing. Plus, the Steelers would need to make the cap work, and negotiations could be tricky. But if there's one thing Steelers fans know, our front office has a knack for making the right moves at the right time. And if this trade happens, it would be a clear statement that the Steelers are not just looking to compete, they're aiming to dominate. Ultimately, this move would mark a turning point for Pittsburgh's defense. It would transform us into a true fortress, capable of shutting down the best offenses in the league. It could be the missing piece that pushes us over the edge and helps us reclaim our place among NFL elites. And if we look at the history of how great defenses have carried teams, this is exactly the kind of move that can define a season. From the steel curtain of the 70s to our recent dominance in the 2010s, Steelers' defenses have always been about grit, toughness, and lockdown ability. Adding Sauce Gardner would be the next chapter in that storied legacy. Now, as we wait for official confirmation, it's clear that this potential trade has the Steelers' faithful buzzing. We all know how much a player like Gardner could mean for our Super Bowl aspirations. It's not just about adding another star, it's about transforming our entire defense into a nightmare for AFC offenses. And let's be honest, we've seen how critical a lockdown corner can be in the playoffs. Just ask the Patriots in 2019 or the Rams in 2019 when Ramsey came in and changed everything. If the Steelers can pull off this move, it's game on for the AFC North and beyond. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Do you think this trade is the game changer we've been waiting for? Would Sauce Gardner be the piece to finally push us over the top? Or do you think the team should focus on other areas? Either way, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. Remember, in this league, opportunities like this don't come around often. If the Steelers can land a player of Gardner's caliber, it could be the move that defines the next decade of Steelers football. We're talking about a defense that could be a true legend, a wall that no team can break through, and a key piece in bringing another Lombardi Trophy home to Pittsburgh. So, keep your eyes peeled, because big things are happening, and the Steelers are always ready to make history.